Today I want to give you a very simple exercise that you can combine two very powerful muscle groups that often lead to chronic low back pain. So if you have a stiff low back, it hurts to get up out of a chair, rolling over in bed, or doing simple chores around your house, and you're afraid that you're one thing away from causing another spasm, this simple stretch is a great addition to your program.
There's a lot of talk around tight hip flexors if you sit a whole lot, and then there's a lot of talk around tight hamstrings, right? And the numerous reasons why we could have tight hamstrings. What I want to do, instead of just hanging out, locking our knees out and doing some static hamstring stretches, or trying to get into some kind of big, hip flexor stretches where you're overextending your back, causing more irritation, what we're going to do is the hip ham rock instead. And what we're going to do, one foot up here, your left foot nice and straight, in this position right here, nice and comfortable, shouldn't have any kind of issues here. What we're going to do is we're going to, making sure that as we are pushing into our hips, we're going to combine two movements. One is a hamstring stretch here. My knee is not locked out. I'm here. I'm not folding over like this. I'm just simply rocking back to the point of feeling this massive amount of tension here, keeping my spine nice and neutral. This is the hamstring, right? Now the hip portion, in the same position, I want you to squeeze your left glute, because your left glute is the one that's we're gonna be making sure that this is a nice stable joint here on the left side, and I'll show both sides. But we're gonna squeeze this glute here, and we're going to simply shift our weight forward. It's not a lot of movement, right? We're not trying to slam our way into extension. What we're trying to do is just simply get into a smooth rhythm of rocking between the hamstring and the hip, okay? So the hip is gonna be here. I'm contracting my glute, making sure I'm not sitting in extension, my gut's all hanging out. I'm nice and neutral, focusing on bracing that, and then sliding forward until I feel this tension, this pulling in the front of my hip. And then this is where the ham hip rock comes in. I'm gonna come back, spine stays neutral, come forward. So the goal here is to go back and forth. So I'm gonna contract my glute, moving forward, kind of an active mobility range, and not trying to be too much into extension again. And as you come back, you want to kind of hinge your hips back. The spine is still in a neutral position, and you're gonna be sitting back and feeling that stretch. Okay, I'll rotate this really quick, show you a front side shot of this on the other side. So we're here, nice and aligned, comfortable position. For some people, just being in this position here, once you have your legs straight down, your feet are going straight back, your foot isn't collapsed in like this. You really want it to be in line. If anything, you can take it a little bit outside just to really kind of make sure you're hitting the front of that leg. Contract my hip, and just simply contracting those glutes and sliding forward. You might already feel it pulling. That's okay. Just sit here. More is not better. We're not trying to hammer the hip flexor or hip flexors in the front of the hip. We're just trying to get a gentle stretch there and make sure we can breathe into it. From there, we're going to rock back and focus on intentional hamstring stretching there, and come forward. And you're simply gonna rock back and forth.
For more of a structured rep, set, and exercise routine that you can do on a daily basis for your chronic low back pain, just go to fitnessforbackpain.com/routine. I'll break down the exact exercise you should be doing, the reps, the sets, and how to modify them to fit your specific needs. fitnessforbackpain.com/routine.